Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. It's gonna be a tier list video today and well, specifically item tier list. Before I go into it too deep, let me just explain the criteria I'll be ranking them under. So I have like a little Excel spreadsheet where I sorted all the they're alphabetically sorted and they are rated based on their value, so like value for the amount that you're paying for, and the other criteria will be how often you're gonna be buying them. So we're gonna call that frequency, and the first one we're gonna call value. Now I didn't rate these like relic items because they're I don't even know how to like explain them or how to rate them really. But I did rate all the other actual items. So we're gonna start off with Alchemist's Coat. This item is very weak, very low stats, and you're not gonna buy it on almost anyone. The reason it's not D is that it still has some value, like it has a lot of dampening, right? You're gonna mainly buy it for dampening, but that's about it. Amanita Charm. This item is very good, very well statted, and you're gonna buy it relatively often. I would say you should maybe even look to buy it every game in support right now because it's that good. But, you know, I'm pretty sure there's many playstyles to this. Ancient Signet is decently well statted. I think you're pretty happy with this item, but in general, it doesn't really like synergize with anything. Ancile, we are in B tier. Also, I will be going through this like relatively fast. I'm not gonna sit on items for too long, so. Ancile, B tier, okay stats, not impressive. That's about it. Arendite is gonna be in B tier. I don't really see anyone picking this up. It has okay stats, nothing too crazy, but I don't really see anyone picking this up. It's gonna be in B tier, but it would be like a low B. Avatar's Parachute, same thing. Okay stats. You could argue it's not the greatest for the price. I don't really see this one get picked up too much either. Our first S tier item, Avenging Blade, incredible stats, and you probably should buy this almost every game in ADC. You sometimes buy this in solo or even jungle. Bancrofts, B tier. This is actually a really well statted item, pretty cheap too. The only problem is that it's only as good as like a first or second item, and it's only good on a handful of characters. Barbed Carver, solid. I think this is in most jungle builds, if not all of them, and sometimes you can build this in solo lane, but it's a good item. Just decently statted, not too crazy expensive. You get a lot of value out of it. Berserker Shield, it's okay. You buy it really only on either some hunters if you're trying to be cringe, or you're buying it on like auto attack warriors, not much else. Bloodbound Book is actually quite good. I'm gonna put it in A tier. This is between A and B tier. I don't really see this item too often, but it's well statted. It's really cheap and kind of pretty useful. Bloodforge is terrible. Not much to say about it. Terrible. Really low stats. Not much value out of it. Book of Thoth is pretty high value, very cheap. I know some people like to compare Book of Thoth to Doomorb, but Book of Thoth is also 400 gold cheaper, keep in mind. So it's really high value. Bracer of the Abyss. I don't really see this item too often. I think it's actually okay statted. Maybe people should pick it up more, but meh. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen. Bragi's Harp, B tier as well. Pretty mediocre item. It's okay. Nothing crazy. Brawler's Beatstick, same thing. I mean, Brawler's stat-wise is okay, but you can't really fit this in builds ever, and I don't really think anybody even wants to buy this. Breastplate of Valor is going to go B tier as well. The stats are not the greatest thing ever. They fit only a handful of gods currently. It's like Hercules Guan Yu that I like buying this on, but that's about it. Chandra's Grace. This item is a little sad. Terrible stats. It's pretty cheap though, and you pretty much never want to buy this item. So yeah, it's not the greatest thing ever. Chronos Pendant, I think, is probably one of the best cooldown choices you have as a mage, or even if you play a god that wants to have more cooldown in solo lane, you can fit the Chronos Pendant in. Cersei's Hexstone is one of the worst stat items in the game. It is completely garbage stat-wise, but you probably should buy it pretty often in support if you don't plan on getting a build that is very selfish. Because a lot of the selfish items have bad stats, so this item will help you live. Contagion is very good. Stats aren't impressive, but you can buy it very often and it does a lot of damage. It's one of the better tank items to do damage. Dagger of Frenzy is not the greatest stat-wise, but you probably buy it very often. I'm sure there are builds that don't have Dagger of Frenzy that work really well. Like, it's not a must-buy, but it's a good item. You probably want it sometimes. Damaru, I've never seen Damaru. I don't. Does anybody? Do you guys know what Damaru does? Tell me. Let me know in the comments. Daybreak Gavel. Oh my god, the stats on Daybreak Gavel are crazy. The problem is that you don't really buy it that often. There's not a lot of goals that can actually utilize this item too well. And oftentimes, even if you can utilize this well, there's probably a better choice because you fit in like a certain niche better. Death Metal, same thing. I mean, I actually know what it does at least, but it is very poorly statted. Deathbringer is okay stats. I don't really think crit build is popular right now, but you could probably build it. Same thing with Demon Blade. Like, they're okay. Not the greatest items ever, but meh. You could probably buy it and be happy with it. Devos are good. They're not OP. Very well statted item, pretty cheap, and you buy it frequently enough. Divine Ruin. Sorry, I'm like constantly checking my spreadsheet because I did this reminder sort of where to put items, so I don't have to think about it too much. Divine Ruin, okay stats. You rarely ever want to buy this. You can buy it, like, these items you never want to buy, and something like Chandra's Grace you also never want to buy it, but Divine Ruin you could probably buy sometimes and be happy with it somewhat. Like, there's some synergy to it. Doom Orb, I'm gonna put in A tier. You always just want to compare Doom Orb to Book. Really, they're kind of doing the same thing but a little different. Double of Binding is okay stats. It's kind of like Ancile stat wise. A little bit of a better passive effect, I would say, but the amount of times you're gonna buy this is pretty low as well. They're about the same item. I wouldn't really talk much about one over the other. Draconic Scale is actually probably one of the best tank items right now. It is pure tank though, so it's not gonna fit in every build, but it is really well statted. This is currently the best tank item in the game, I think. Dom. Hold on. Dom is... I put Dom in B tier. Now, Dom is okay stats, but you probably never really want to buy this. I mean, sometimes. You're going to rarely buy it. Mostly because the pen on Dom doesn't work on yellow numbers. Dreamer's Idol is okay. It's okay. Good stats. I think this is currently your replacement for Shard if you really want percent pen. It's very expensive, but I mean, Shard isn't doing much better for itself anyways, and this item I think is just better in every way. Like, I would recommend going this over Shard always. Dwarven Plate right now is a good bit worse than what it was in the previous patch. It's still okay. I wouldn't buy it too much, but it's good stats. Like, you're happy with it. This one is up in the air. I haven't been buying Dwarven Plate in a while, but I think it probably deserves A tier. I think it's fine. Eros Bow is not the greatest item ever. Okay stats again. It falls in this. There's a lot of B tier items. There's a lot of okay items. They fall in this category, but you rarely ever want to buy this. There's really like only a handful of girls that can even use this. Ethereal Staff is not great stat-wise, but you can pretty much buy this every single game, and the passive effect is ridiculous. Also, it's a little criminal that the passive only goes down one stack at a time, not all of them. So you're debuffed for like 4 minutes. I'm not sure what that's about, but okay. I have Erebus is a pretty well statted item, but you don't really buy this often at all. There's only a handful of gods that can use this well. Jorm, Hercules if you really want to go that direction, but yeah, good item. Just unfortunately nobody can really buy it. Erosion, really good stats again, just very niche. I guess it's kind of like I have Erebus, but in a sense that this is like a counter pickup. I have Providence. You never really want to buy this item, but it does have okay stats for the price. I don't want to talk about that one. Freya's Tears, the other best tank item in the game right now, along with Draconic Scale. I pretty much build these two every game right now. Pretty much. This to me is just the better version of Breastplate Genjis. It's like Breastplate Genjis, but in one item. Now you don't get the passives obviously from Breastplate Genjis, but you have an extra item slot, so you can fill in however you want. However you prefer. Gauntlet of Thebes. Decent value for an item, but very niche, and you don't really want to build it very often because it doesn't really offer anything other than HP. But for the gold, very good HP. Also, in the current meta, when E-Staff is really good, Gauntlet of Thebes is kind of a little worse, I guess. But we're going to rate it as like a standalone item, right? Gem of Focus, decent stats. Pretty much the replacement for Chronos Pendant. Like, if you're not feeling like going Chronos Pendant, but you want high cooldown, you go Gem of Focus, you get a little bit of MS instead. Pretty simple. Gem of... Genjis, now a lot of people will be surprised, but I will put Genjis in B tier. It's not the highest value ever item, in my opinion, anymore. I think they over nerfed it, even though it was only 5. In the current context of items, I don't think Genji's Guard is that strong. And I've pretty much played for like 2 weeks now, you know, ever since this patch came out, I guess, without Genji's Guard. And every time I buy it, I don't feel very good about it anyways. It's kind of like Breastplate. It only works really on a handful of gods that really want cooldowns. So don't always buy this. But it's okay. You know, you're not going to be sad about it. Glad Shield has some of the worst stats of all time. But you can pretty much... Actually, man, this one is debatable. I actually would rather put it in C tier. I'm going to put it in C tier. I think you don't want it as often as Breastplate Genjis. You kind of want it in the same situations as Breastplate, but the stats on Glad Shield are so sad right now. This one, Pridwen, same dead item. Unfortunately, I don't think you should ever be buying this. Really bad stats and really low amounts of usefulness. You can maybe buy it on like Mulan and Hercules. I wouldn't go past that. Golden Blade is okay, pretty good. Yeah, okay, pretty good. It is pretty good. This is one of the better damage items, at least for auto attack warriors, and I'm sure you can even mix it in with some other picks if you feel like it. But yeah, it's good. It has good synergy, good stats. It's relatively cheap. Good stuff. Haste and Fatalis is a little bit of a meme. Terrible stats. And you're not going to buy it very often, but I mean, if you really feel like it, I guess, go for it. Oh, I missed Gluttonous Grimoire, my bad. Yeah, you guys didn't really miss out on much. It actually has okay stats, but you never really want to buy this. Heartseeker, terrible stats. I say terrible, but it's an A tier. B tier worthy stats, like mediocre. But you're probably going to buy it very often, though. Just because of how well it synergizes with a lot of the other damage items, right? Heart with the Charm, we got not great. Not great stats, and this is... I've only really considered buying this on Guan. So, yeah, not great. Helm of the... Helm of Radiance. Oh, a much better helmet. Pretty rare when you want to buy this, but the stats are crazy good, by the way. Crazy good. It's kind of like Gavel, I guess, where the stats are ridiculous, but just how often you want to buy it, you know, it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, if you can buy it, probably want to buy it. It's very good still. Nemean in the current patch is very, like, mid. You could probably buy it. If people go full damage, Nemean will still have good value. But if people buy like shifters or berserkers, let's say, it's gonna drop in value a lot. So you can fit it into builds. It's just not the greatest thing ever, and it's very counterable right now. Hussar's Wings. For what you're paying, you're not really getting that much, and it's very rarely useful. Hydras. We got Hydras. Okay, I see a lot of junglers buy this. Probably because jungle items just suck. I don't think they have any better options. But like, it's okay, I guess. Jade Scepter, cracked stats, but very rarely useful. Usually you're better off buying something else instead. And since you're already spending that much, but like, it is very comparable to say like a Gavel or I guess Avenging Blade for magicals. It's okay, like stat-wise, just pretty rare where it's useful. Jotuns is in the same boat as Chronos Pendant. Okay stats, but it's your best cooldown option probably for physicals or strength users. Kinetic is one of the best tank items. You probably want to buy this. If you're going full tank, you have to buy Kinetic. Even if you go like 4 tank items, I think you should buy Kinetic every game. It's not the greatest stats you've ever seen in your life, but really high value item, and you probably want to buy it every game. Lernaean Bow. Solid item. I don't think I see this item too often anymore. I have saw it more before, but I feel like this one kind of like goes in and out of popularity, right? But good item. Leviathan's Hide. Not the greatest stats. I guess it's comparable to like an Ansal for stats, but you never want to buy this. Yeah, you just never want to buy this item. You can pump it up to like much higher HP, so it technically could have better stats than like say Ansile or Double of Binding. I'm gonna compare it to these two, and I will compare it to Midgardian Mail and Mystical Mail later. They sort of kind of fill the same item slot in my opinion, but Leviathan's Hide just not useful enough to be bought more often. Lifebinder is okay stats, and you want to sometimes buy it. The only time I've been seeing it lately is Morgan Le Fay aspect, but I think you can probably buy it on like a lot of other stuff and be happy with it. Magi's is just good. It's just a good item. It's not OP, it's good. Very good item. Midgardian Mail, yeah, so here we go. Midgardian Mail, we're gonna go Midgardian Mail and Mystical Mail. I guess first we have Mantle of Discord. It's not the greatest item ever. I would avoid buying it. Mercury's Teleria. Okay. Midgardian Mail. Alright, here we go. Sorry, my bad. We're gonna put this in C tier as well. They're very comparable, these two, where their stats are like mid, but you kind of just never really want to buy them. These two. Mystical Mail is a little bit better. Like, I'm just gonna finish up these three. Mystical Mail actually has a purpose. It is to counter shields. The stats are about the same as these two. Like they're in like the B category. These two you just never want to buy. But Mystical Mail you kind of want to buy relatively often because of the shield counter. It's ridiculous. It's a little too much actually, but I suppose they like it over there like that at Hyros. Musashi's is literally comparable to Deathbringer and Demon Blade, and it's just worse than both, so we're putting it here. Not the greatest value ever. Necro is the most like hit or miss item ever. Really? Nimble Ring is OP. This is maybe the best mage item. Also, notice I have not put almost any mage item in S tier because they really are that bad. I mean, mage and jungle items are probably the saddest currently. It's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Oathsworn Spear, not the greatest stats, and you sometimes probably want to buy it, but I've not really been seeing it too much lately. Shard, for what you pay, you get very, very little. Like, it's like C tier category for stats, but you probably want to buy it relatively often just because it's your best pen option, which is a bit of a shame. It's a very bad item, actually. Oboe is good. Pretty solid stats. We're gonna get to Toxic Blade later, but in my opinion, you kind of just go Oboe over Toxic Blade always. I don't really see what the point of Toxic Blade is. It's literally like the same stats, but, you know, no passive. So I'm not really sure what Toxic Blade is about right now. Omen Drum. I don't even, to be honest, I don't really know what this does, but I did read it and I wrote it down on the Excel spreadsheet, and it apparently has good stats, but not very often purchased. Oni Hunters is pretty good for the value, but you almost never want to buy it. It's only, I think, exclusive for Prophetic Cloak builds, just because the myths work really well together. Pendulum Blade has an incredibly terrible stat line, and you don't really want to buy it very often. I think sometimes you can, like, if you play a physical, like for example, I played a Gilgamesh aspect game, and I felt like Pendulum Blade, like if you go Jotun's Pendulum Blade, that's really good cooldown, but it's pretty niche. I don't know. Pharaoh's Curse. Whew. Any item I put in D tier, guys, I don't really have to comment much on these. Like, these are just incredibly poorly statted. Like, it's almost like the developers messed up when they made the stat lines for these. Phoenix Feather, not. Wow. Poly. Okay stats. You don't really buy it too often. I think mostly because a lot of the current top picks don't synergize really well with Poly. They also maybe over nerfed Poly. I'm not sure. But it's still good. You're probably pretty happy when you buy it. Prophetic Cloak is pretty good stat-wise. If you it's stat-wise, it is either S or B. So we're just gonna put it in A. And you want to buy it relatively often, but you know, teach their own. You're not really missing out that much by not having Prophetic Cloak, but I think it is good. Chin size, not the greatest stats, but I'm pretty sure you buy this every single game as ADC because of the obvious scaling potential against high HP targets. Rage. It is sort of on the same boat as Musashi's. It is just, compared to these two, it is worse. I think Rage does have a niche purpose where it gives you a lot of crit chance. So if you go Rage, you can maybe even play Rage solo. I don't know how good builds are with just Rage, but you can do that. Regrow Striders, they used to be better on the previous patch, but right now the value you get for the gold is just not enough, and they're pretty niche as well, so you're not going to see them very often. Resolute Mantle, stat-wise not too hot, it's like mediocre, and you're not going to buy this very often. I think sometimes this item can be very good though, but rare. Rip Talon, insane. This is probably the best ADC item, at least in my opinion. I'm not really sure what competes with this. It's just too good in every category. It kind of just does everything an ADC wants. Rod of a... Apparently it has good stats, but you never want to buy this. Oh yeah, because it's pretty cheap, I think. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. Rod of Tahuti, not the greatest stats either, but you're always buying this. So we're gonna put it in A tier because it actually really isn't that sick stat-wise, but oh my god, the necessity of this item because of that passive is... Whew. We might want to check that out. Runeforced Hammer, good stats. It's kind of like Eye of Erebus, just you can pick it up more often and be happy with it, right? Eye of Erebus is very niche. Sanguine Lash, terrible stats. Not very often that you're happy buying it. Right, let's move on. Screeching Gargoyle. It's basically like a Genji's guard. Yeah, it's kind of like a Genji's guard, really. Same sort of stats and just like a little bit of a different passive. Shield of the Phoenix is actually pretty good stat-wise. We're going to put it in A tier. It does fill in the same item slot as a Glad Shield or a Breastplate, but I think this item has simply more potential than the other ones. Really well statted, and it has the potential to be very strong. Shield Splitter. Not very well statted at all. It used to be, but they over-nerfed it, and you almost never want to buy this. It's okay counter into like a Pridwen one-trick god, but Pridwen is not very good either. So Pridwen one-trick gods probably won't be happy with it. Let me tell you about that item. Maybe you should even make a special tier for it, but In all honesty, I don't think it's that much better than some of the other items in this category. So I think it's perfectly fine sitting over here in S tier. Shoguns. Not. It's basically a better Pharaoh's Curse, literally. Like Pharaoh's Curse is terrible, and then Shoguns is like okay. You probably never want to buy this. If you do, you're gonna buy it on a very select few characters, and you're probably not too happy about it either. Shroud of Vengeance, incredibly. I mean, man, I don't really want to put it in D tier because it has some use, but the stats are so bad, so bad. But it has some use. You can sometimes buy it. Silver Branch Bow is okay. And it really is. It's actually a really fun item. I think this one is a very good addition to the like items that we have for hunters right now. Very good addition. Soul Gem. Not the greatest stats, but pretty good. I think you're always happy with Soul Gem pretty much. It's gonna be kind of like a Spear of Deso, in my opinion, where sorry, let's start it. I'm already talking about a Deso. Like their stats aren't the hottest thing ever, but this is sort of towards the top end of mage items, which is a little sad. Reaver, yeah, same thing. Like these three items, they're all sort of, I can explain them in the same way. Their stats aren't the greatest, but they are probably for the mage items they're pretty good, and you're gonna want to buy them pretty often. Spear of the Magus. I mean, it has like okayish passive, but just not enough, man. Not great stats, and the passive, or like it's, I think it can be good. It's also a lot of hidden value because a lot like other people can hit, so you know you're like buffing others. But for like your mage, probably not the greatest ever. Spectral is terrible. Wow. Even if crit was good, it would be bad. Sphere of Negation is okay. I don't see this get purchased too often. It's basically just a bad Helm of Radiance. But like the, flip it to the magical side. Spirit Rope's okay. You don't buy this too often. You kind of buy it in the same situations as Resolute Mantle, but I value Spirit Rope stats much higher than Resolute Mantle. So even though they are in the same tier, I would like slightly give the edge to Spirit Rope. Staff of Mirrodin. This item is not well statted at all, and it's pretty niche. On some characters, it does work really well, though. So keep in mind, just because it's C tier doesn't mean it's necessarily the worst thing ever. Like, it does have some use. Some gods really use it really well. I promise. I promise. Stampede is one of the worst statted items ever, but man, you probably are gonna buy it every game in support. I hate to say it supports, but you are buying this selfishly trash item, like a pure support item. Maybe it's good that it's in the game, but man, am I like every time I play support, I don't buy Stampede because the stats are so bad. Stone of Binding, okay stats, but you're rarely ever gonna buy it. It's really hard to use the passive. Pretty niche. Maybe if you can use the passive, you would buy it, but I've never bought this item, I think, ever in Smite 2, so I'm not sure. Stygian, okay stats, but you never want to buy this. Even more niche than Stone of Binding. Sunbeam Bow, I think, okay, Sunbeam Bow's stats are atrocious. But I think it could have some value in builds. I'm going to put it in C tier. This one is a little bit of a, up in the air, available for discussion item. Because it is really high DPS once you get going. It's just, yeah, once you get going. Until then, it's pretty sad, and you're kind of just all the time. And the stats, wow, they're bad. Wow, they're bad. Teko Kagi. Right. Cosmic Horror. Okay stats. It's getting a new passive. Now, I'm rating it without the new passive in mind, so it's already doing okay. You don't really want to buy it too often though, but it's like okay. It's an okay item. I think with the new passive coming in, I'm sure this item will see a lot more play. We'll see. Crusher. I think it's pretty much the same boat as a Cosmic Horror, actually. No, I don't have to explain much else. Executioner, this is probably the best pen option in the game. An ADC item though, so unlucky for mages, but it is probably the best pen option in the game. The Reaper is okay. Not the greatest stats ever, but it's okay. And I see people buy it very often. I actually think this item maybe even gets purchased a lot more than I feel like it should, but that's just because junglers don't really have access to very good items. Worldstone is quite good. This is among the better mage items, and I feel you should maybe buy this every game. It's not statted well enough to justify buying it every game, but I think this is your best bet as far as like a, if your ultimate is really useful, you probably want to buy this every game. If your ultimate is not the most useful ever, you can still consider buying it. So it's solid. It's very solid. Titan's Bane, worthless trash. You can probably still buy it on a handful of gods. Probably junglers. Unlucky again for junglers. But it's, the stats are here in this category, D tier, but you probably still want to buy it, and there will probably still be a good bit of use for it, simply because it has 20% pen. Transcendence is very good. Very, very good. I don't... Totem of Death, I think, is for the new patch, so I can't really rate it, sorry. But Transcendence is very good. It's kind of like Book, but I would argue a little better. Toxic Blade, so I compared Toxic Blade to Odibo. I will put Toxic Blade in B. I simply think Odibo is a better Toxic Blade. Like, they have the same stats roughly. This one is much cheaper, and the passive effect is much more useful. Triton's Conch. Okay stats, but you never want to buy it, literally ever, and there's no point. Tierfing, I'm kind of debating putting this in S tier. I actually think this is also one of the better items in the game. Like, I don't think it compares with Rip Talon or Executioner. Actually, it's comparable to Executioner, but not Rip Talon. Rip Talon is better. But yeah, Tierfing is cracked. Super cracked. Shocker, ADC item in S tier. Yeah, really strong for what you get for the money. Typhons. Okay stats. You rarely ever want to buy this. Umbral Link is pretty good stats, but you really rarely ever want to buy this. Vital Amplifier, sadly, trash stats, and I don't think you ever want to buy it. Void Shield and Void Stone in the same category. We're going to compare their stats to Ansile. It's the same stats, literally. You can sometimes buy these, like, I would say yeah, the same, like Ansile, Void Stone, and Double Binding fill in the same item slot, and then Void Shield, maybe Berserkers, maybe Nemean fill in the same item slot, kind of. Maybe Neem or Midgar or Mythical. Jesus. Wish Granting Pearl. Okay stats for the price, but you never really want to buy this. So it's right here. I've been playing around with this a little bit more, like as a last item. When you really have enough gold to just buy Wish Granting Pearl, but that's about it. I wouldn't get it any earlier than last item. Shibalban is pretty well statted, but you more or less, you're rarely ever gonna buy this, really. But it's okay, like, it's actually a pretty solid item. Maybe if people were more comfortable with using it, it would be better. But I think this one is maybe yet to be explored properly. And Yogis is not the greatest stats. And I think Yogis is like here. I don't really see much of a point in Yogis. Man, it is pretty cheap. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. It's okay for the price. Alright, there you guys go. I will not do starter items, because starter items, most of them are just pretty good. Like, I don't really know what to say with starter. I guess I could do them, but I don't really know. Like, because what's the context as well, right? I guess like this. Hold on, I'll just rate them and then you guys tell me what you think, okay? Because it's like it's kind of hard to rate starters in my what am I doing? I think this one is like here. It's kind of hard to rate starters because a lot of the starters are very specific on how you want to play them, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just putting everything in A tier because they're all just like fine, you know? They're all just fine. Yeah, I don't even know why I did this really. Like, they're all just fine. I guess I put this one in S tier, but I mean, they kind of do deserve S tier. Ooh, Vamp Shroud, the non-upgraded one, has a special place. Hold on. Non-upgraded Vamp Shroud is right here. And then, yeah, something like this, I guess. I guess I've tried to go based off the same categories, but I didn't really prepare the starters. This is roughly how I'd rate them. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to go off of because, like, the usefulness of them is very specific to the character buying them. Like, you don't really even discuss this, right? Like, you buy at level 1 because your character literally has to buy at level 1 or can't buy something else, right? Like, if your character can buy Deathstall, that means it's probably not that great with Bluestone, right? Or if you're buying Boombas, that means you probably aren't that great with, say, Deathstall or maybe Cal or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's really weird. But I think generally they're all relatively good. I think the best starter currently upgraded is Hunter's Call. The most early game, like the strongest unupgraded, definitely Conduit Gem. Maybe Deathstall is, yeah, I think Deathstall, yeah, like this. Yeah, like this. Yeah, and these are just the worst, for sure. But yeah, most starters are just okay. Like, really, you can buy most of these and be happy with them. Especially in Soul Lane, by the way. Current Soul Lane, you can literally buy Sans, Axe, Boombas, Bluestone, Deathstall, Conduit, and Cowl. Almost all of them, literally, are fine. Just depends on your character. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I did sprint through some items, so if you guys have any questions, maybe to like explain more, I can maybe do it in another video or just in the comments. You can ask if you have any more questions about certain items. But they are rated based on the criteria, so it should be relatively clear on why they're in the place that they are. Yeah, have a nice rest of your day, everyone, and catch you in the next video. Bye bye.